I am very excited to dig into the contents of this box. When these were revealed a bit ago, my Instagram inbox that I check not nearly enough, because I just don't really use social media, my inbox blew up because I got so many messages about these clones. You can kind of get a little hint of what it is with this guy right here, and we will need him for later in the video. But yes, it's more AliExpress Clone Trooper goodness. But not just any Clone Trooper stuff. They made a few that are pretty spectacular. And I'm hoping that they turned out okay. Because, you know, it is still a knockoff we're dealing with. These are still unofficial items. So, even though the quality of the previous ones I got were pretty great, they were pretty much on par with official things, you know, it might not always be the case with every single one. So last time was very heavy with 501st, and now it's the 212th turn. And if you know me, they're my favorite, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this turns out. So let's look at this first, because this is a 212th, like, clone officer. They kind of call it ARC Trooper, I think, but it's not very ARC Trooper-y. It's definitely more of like an officer. Oddly enough, he doesn't have a skirt, which is kind of odd to me. But, ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that paint's not too great on the helmet. But we'll get there. Yeah, he doesn't have a skirt, oddly enough, like the 501st ones. But still, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that we have a, like this 212th Elite Trooper that is, you know, pretty usable for the Army. I don't Army build Black Series. I don't really go all out with things. But still, I thought this was a pretty cool one to have. And let's get in a little bit in on the on that helmet that he just did not want to hold his gun. He was just like, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. Well, you're gonna hold your gun, okay? That's what we're here for. We're trying to present you in a decent way. So yeah, this paint is a little dicey. That black stripe is very splotchy, and the visor's not the greatest. I almost feel like that paint would just scratch off. Yeah, look at that. It's just scratching off like nothing. Like nothing. Like absolutely nothing. That is some bad paint. Is it like that throughout the rest of the figure? Like, is the orange like that? The orange seems okay. It's not scratching off easy. Yeah, this black paint is bad. I'm hoping it's not like that with other ones. You may have been wondering, why did you scratch that paint off so easily? Because it's just going to live like this forever. Because, you may have noticed, I got two of it. I got two of this guy, and his black paint is a very similar case, unfortunately. I might just paint it myself or something. I might go over it with like a fine black Sharpie or whatever, because this paint is pretty dicey, and I'm really hoping the other two do not have paint that bad of quality. Like, the paint on that is decent. The paint on the orange is decent. It's not even really in focus. It's decent paint, except for that up there. And, whoop, there goes his head. Yeah, that is a little unfortunate. And this one's not even lined up right. You can see that's not even on the band. And it's just so, like, it looks cheap. It looks like it was chalked on. But, you know, I'll take care of it. They're bootlegs, you know? But I can't really just write them off as they're bootlegs. Because even though these things, I can guarantee you, were significantly less expensive to produce than official Black Series clones, they still are borderline, at least in the United States, retail price. I came to the understanding in my previous video when I made that a point, that in other countries where Black Series figures are more expensive for no good reason, these are significantly cheaper. And that's great. But in the United States, Black Series retail 25 United States dollars, and these things are like 22, 23 sometimes. The cheaper ones are less than 20. But yeah, I would expect, especially with how expensive you're charging for these, I would expect that paint to be a bit higher quality. Because, I mean, look at that. It's coming right off. It's like, seriously, that is no effort. That's just coming straight off. Like, look, it's on my thumbnail. Oh, man. Ooh. I'll take care of it. But yeah, I got two officers. You may be wondering, oh, why did you do that? Well, if you remember what I did with the 501st, I fully intend on doing that with the 212th, because I want an Umbara Trooper, damn it. So, get that popped and swapped, and I'll take care of that later. Because I already bought this 212th, just thinking, oh, I'll just have an extra 212th in my collection, but now I'll use it as an Umbara Trooper. Let's actually bring it in, it's right here. So now I can have an Umbara 501st and an Umbara 212th, and that's super cool. I love that. That's a cool little workaround for me. This paint wasn't nearly as cheap. Yeah, look, that's not scratching off. Seriously, I used no effort scratching that off. That's the same amount of effort, and that paint's not coming off. So yeah, definitely a downgrade in the paint of the brows, and I'm really hoping that's not the case with a couple of the others, but we'll have to see. All right, so these, very much looking forward to, because, oh, thank God, it seems like they're okay. WAXER and Boyle. Oh my gosh. This is the first time we have seen them in action figure form in their Phase 2 armor, technically, because they did have, like, sideshow figures with Phase 2 helmets that were actually before they had their official debuts for their Phase 2 helmets, and there's going to be a WAXER in the vintage collection, which looks very cool, by the way. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's look at Boyle here. I really love these characters. I think it's kind of a shame. I hope TVC gives us Boyle as well, because I kind of feel like you can't have one without the other. Okay, so far the paint's looking a lot better on Boyle. The helmet mold's looking good. I don't know if Hasbro's going to officially do these, but this line has essentially become like third party. It's basically third party clone troopers. And it's interesting. Again, the plastic quality is actually pretty up there with official products. You can tell it's a little different, but it's not anything too drastic. The articulation function's all the same. Unfortunately, they do not have removable helmets. I think it would have been really cool if they engineered a way to give these guys removable helmets, especially since WAXER and Boyle, these are some of the first named characters they have made in this knockoff series. So yeah, Boyle's looking really cool here. Aw, man. It's so cool having these guys in the Black Series. How's his paint? It's fine. It's not scratching off like that. What was going on, really? What was going on? Let's open WAXER. WAXER has a lot more intricate print on his helmet since he has pneuma and some tally marks. So let's kind of take a look at him. So zooming in, look at that. The pneuma's looking a little goofy up there. I don't really think that's very accurate, but I mean, from afar you can tell it's just a little drawing of pneuma. And WAXER has had quite a few kills. He has taken out quite a few battle droids. I mean, it's WAXER, he's cool. And again, look at this black brow. Scratching that. Seems fine. It's not coming off. And then we return to this. The same amount of effort. Seriously, the same amount of effort. And it's just coming right off. That is very cheap paint on these. Very cheap. However, it's fine on WAXER and Boyle. Absolutely fine. Here, let's get Boyle in here again so we can get a closer look. I can tell that Boyle has some weird blemishing on the side of his helmet. But overall, these are looking really good. I really like these. These were what really caught my eye, were the WAXER and Boyle that they did. Because, I mean, come on, it's WAXER and Boyle. I don't know if Black Series is ever going to get around to these. It would be kind of a bummer, though, if Black Series officially makes these, because then I'll be stuck with these that I bought off of AliExpress and no one's going to want them. So I probably would still keep them around, because I mean it's the 212th, you know. I can live with having some extras of the 212th. Let's get his elbow bent. That's kind of tight there for some reason. Yeah, I mean the articulation feels fine. They feel good. They're great. They're great additions to the collection, honestly. But I do have that concern with the paint quality on the officer. I'm noticing a bit of a paint issue on, looks like both of these guys. Is that like that on the trooper? Not as much. So the body, for the most part, a lot of the weathering seems identical. I'm not really seeing many differences. But I'm noticing, like on Boyle here, he is missing some of the orange on his shoulder pad. And this orange stripe is not lined up on either of these guys. How is it on the officer? Oh, that's just plastic. Same thing on the officer. It's not really fully lined up. That's odd. Is that orange paint like easily scratched off? Is that what's going on? No, seems fine. Seems fine. The paint quality seems good on Waxer and Boyle. But, ooh, man, this paint is bad. This black stripe is really bad. It's not good. That is not good. I wonder if it's like that with the visor too. I don't know. It'll probably, if I can talk, my tongue just doesn't want to work anymore. I've had so many issues with my tongue just trying to fly out of my mouth. Yeah, I'll fix it up. I'll tidy it up. One thing I wish, I guess you could probably, just pop this off, maybe Dremel some holes. I kind of wouldn't mind Waxer with these. That would look pretty cool. Ooh. Oh, man. Oh, no. Oh. But see, it's, they're just kind of sitting there. You'd have to, Dremel holes. I kind of wish Waxer just had them. Because you only saw Waxer on Umbara with these binoculars. Oh, that looks really cool, though. I mean, if anyone wants to get a custom, all you have to do is buy another officer and then do a couple holes on the side of Waxer's helmet, and there you go. Oh, man, look at that. That is just unfortunate. And it does have a little bit of that deformity, too, that the other commanders had, like the Commander Bow had some deformity. Hi, so this isn't really what you would expect to see in the middle of the video, but I'm making an amendment because I noticed this after I filmed the video. This is the next day, and I feel like this is actually a significant thing that I want to address. I'm just filming this on my phone because it's not that big of a deal. But I was kind of looking at these guys, and I'm like, I really want to see how accurate they got the helmets. So I was starting to kind of look on Google Images and everything, and I noticed that while the helmets are pretty spot on, the paint on the rest of the armor really is not when it comes to accuracy. So why you're seeing my massive army here is because we're going to zoom in on the 3 3/4 inch figures. You can see they have orange on their elbows, their hands, their knees, and they have an orange stripe on their arms. And so these are the Phase 1 designs, and I thought the Phase 1 designs perhaps might have been a little different from the Phase 2, and the Phase 2 just went straight up like Revenge of the Sith 2/12. But the only difference with the Phase 1 and the Phase 2s were the helmets. So while the armor deco on this is the Revenge of the Sith 212th, the shoulder pad should have a stripe, the elbow pad should be orange, that bicep orange should not be there, the hands should be orange, that on the thigh should not be there, the knees should all be orange. There's some inaccuracies. There's some inaccuracies with the armor themselves. However, the reason why I'm kind of pointing this out is because I didn't notice. I didn't notice. So at the end of the day, it's something that actually does kind of bug me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but these are also bootleg figures. They're not real. They're not official products. I'm sure if Hasbro would do them, they would make them more official. But the main thing is the fact that I didn't notice. It's not the end of the world. It's still Waxer and Boyle. It's still 2/12. I can still tell these are the guys. It looks like them. I see them. So I personally am not too bugged by that inaccuracy that the bootleg company did where they didn't get the armor deco right. But I wanted to point this out because it might be a deal breaker for you. So I just wanted to interject this in the video. I don't know exactly where it's going in the video, but it's in the video. Alrighty, guys. Let's continue on to what I had to say yesterday. So yeah, there we go. There is a look at the new batch of bootleg Black Series Clone Troopers. What's my verdict? I really like them. Really, really do. Except for that paint on the officers. But yeah, I'm getting quite a bit of a 2/12 collection here. Here, let's get some of this trash out of the way, because, it's just trash. So yeah, we got an Umbara Trooper. We got Waxer and Boyle, which is super cool. Can't wait to have those stand alongside Commander Cody. That's going to look sweet. And then, nice. And then we have an officer, which I was kind of planning on having the Umbara one with the binoculars down and the officer with the binoculars up, but oh my gosh, get off of him. Tape. Geez, that is some strong tape. But yeah, with the quality of that paint on that helmet, I'll have to go through and tidy that up. But yeah, we got a decent little crew here. I'm digging it. Let's just kind of get that lazily in there. This does, however, leave me with something that I'm not sure what I'm going to do with. I don't know if I'm going to leave him like this. I don't know. I don't know if I'll just use him as, you know, like another officer, or if I might modify him or do something silly. I can make a Captain Killshot out of this. But hey, it's something I have. You know, I have this other officer. Let's actually give him a carbine. I think he'd look kind of cooler with that. There we go. So yeah, the way I see it, it's just another 212th to have, I guess. Yeah, looking neat, looking really cool. Waxer and Boyle are ones I can absolutely recommend. Of course, if you can get past the moral issue of the fact that these are knockoffs. If you do not like the fact that these are bootleg items and you don't want to support anything that's unofficial, I totally understand and I can totally justify your opinion. You don't have to get these. But if you just want some cool figures in your collection, figures that Hasbro likely may never do, these exist. I'm just saying, they exist. All these figures you see here are bootlegs. And besides that black paint on the brows, they are pretty great. The quality's really good. I'll just have to go through and tidy up that black stripe on a couple of those, because that is just, ooh, yeah, that is not good. Oh man, that quality is bad. But overall, I would say the quality of these is pretty spectacular. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. I'm happy I was able to get these. I didn't get them as fast as a few other people did. I know my brother got them early. Rust Belt Collector got them like a week ago, and I'm only now getting them. So, I was super jealous when he got his. But hey, I got them, and I'm really happy with them. Alrighty, guys, there we go. Thank you so much for watching. Special shout out to channel members as well. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Alrighty, there we go. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.